We're continuing now the letters of the Rebbe regarding this, that Yidden are going to Eretz Yisrael does not mean that redemption has begun. Even though that there are different Gemaris, Midrashim that may be sound, maybe someone could learn out of it and have some type of a meaning, that the Geulah begins with this, they didn't go to Eretz Yisrael, or this that as a state of Israel somehow, maybe that's also considered the beginning of the redemption. So the Rebbe is emphasizing that it's not the beginning of the redemption according to halacha. Maybe there's different Gemaras and Midrashim, but it's just like Beis Shammai that also say different things, which is not halacha. Now let's just read inside. We learned this. This is what we were speaking about for the past 3-4 shiurim. This is a very famous letter and a very sharp letter of the Rebbe to Reb Shlomo Yosef Zevin. He was a great genius in Torah knowledge. He was knew the whole Torah by heart. He started off making the Encyclopedia Talmudis, the encyclopedia on the whole Torah, on any concept in Torah, to know everything that all of the Chazal say on that concept. He was from a Chabad family and a Chabad Chassid, to a certain extent. Okay, let's read inside. It's great to see how precise and correct the Chachamim are on every single side, every single detail, and every single thing they said. They said, anyone that adds onto the Torah, he is minimizing, he's deleting. Guys thinks that he's adding, really he's taking away from the Torah. Anyone that adds more than what the Torah says to do, he's taking away. According to this is understood the two commandments. There's a commandment in the Torah, do not add onto the Torah, and there's a commandment, do not minimize from the Torah. The simple meaning is, let's say you have tefillin, there's 4 parashas of the tefillin, 4 bottom, don't add a 5th one. And also don't minimize, don't make 3 bottom instead of 4. Right? You have 4 corners for tzitzis, don't add a 5th corner. And also don't take away, don't make 3. Why does it say these 2 commandments, do not add and do not minimize, do not delete, do not take away in one shot? Because the one that adds onto the Torah, he is really in depth, he's taking away from the Torah, he's really deleting. And he's eventually going to come to taking away the whole thing. Now let's see. These people that are making a big deal out of this, that now there's a new mitzvah, they add on a new mitzvah to the Torah. What's a new mitzvah? There's a mitzvah that everyone has to go now to Israel from the whole world. You can't live in how it's said. Everyone has to come now and come up there to Israel. They say this is specifically one of the 613 mitzvahs that you have to go up there to Israel now. So this is not the opinion of the Rambam. The Rambam says it's not a mitzvah in Torah to come up there to Israel, especially in the time of Galus. And there's those that add even more than that. That only if you come there to Yisrael now in Galus, that's the only way that we're going to be able to do Torah and mitzvahs in the time of Galus. Before Mashiach comes, you want to be a Frum Yid in the time of Galus, you have to go up there to Yisrael. What's going to keep the Yidden that are going to exist is to have a piece of land and to go up to move in Eretz Yisrael. How is Eretz Yisrael going to continue existing? Only through everyone going and living in Eretz Yisrael. of a mele. So because this is their opinion that everyone must go and there's a mitzvah now, a new mitzvah, not like the Rambam says, the opposite of the Rambam. Everyone has a mitzvah to go to live in Eretz Yisrael, and that's the only way you can be a frum Jew. Of a mele muter linsaya b'sfinis b'chil Shabbos b'farhesia v'chulu. So therefore, automatically, because the whole Torah and mitzvahs is dependent in living in Eretz Yisrael, so you're allowed to be machal Shabbos. You're allowed to go to Eretz Yisrael on Shabbos, which there was, that time there was boats, Israeli boats. These people that are held that everyone has to come to Israel, they were running Israeli boats, Yiddish boats that were driving on Shabbos. On Shabbos, going and bringing Yidden to Eretz Yisrael. Because this is the only way the Jewish nation is going to exist. So what do we see? These people that are adding on new mitzvahs to say that everyone has to come and call this now, there are also those that are saying they're being Machal Shabbos. They push away the whole entire Torah. They say nothing is important in all the Torah. Mitzvahs, the only thing that's important is to go to Eretz Yisrael. So you can be Machal Shabbos, you can do whatever you want. The main thing is to come to live in Israel. If you're able to be Machal Shabbos in order to go to Eretz Yisrael, for sure you could be Machal, you could be over, you could desecrate any other smaller Isur. Shabbos is a Chiv Koris, Chiv Skila, Chiv. Someone gets killed if he's Machal Shabbos. What's about Isur Derabanan or something that's not so severe? For sure you could do it if you want to go to Eretz Yisrael. There's no Torah in mitzvahs. Who cares? It's just to go to Eretz Yisrael. So those that are adding a new mitzvah, they're taking away from all the other mitzvahs. And these people added on to their first Aveda that said that there's a new mitzvah to go to Eretz Yisrael. They advertised and said it out loud that now we're in the middle of the beginning of the redemption. The redemption already started to take place. With this, that we have a land and we're going to Israel. The beginning of the redemption. This is contradicting, which is just the opposite, a clear psaktin of the Rambam. The Rambam for sure knew what it says in Yerushalmi. Over there it says in Gemara Yerushalmi, what we mentioned a few days ago. It says that the Geula is going to take place very slowly, naturally. Very, very slowly, like we said. Remember we said like by the daylight, the way the daylight starts, it's very, so the redemption is very slow. So they say the redemption comes very, very slowly. So the Rambam knew what it says in this Yerushalmi. Also the Ramban on Shirashirim, there he says that Yidden are going to go to Eretz Yisrael with the permission of the nations of the world, and they're gonna, and everyone's gonna go to Israel before the redemption. So they say, you see, this that we have, the UN said that we could go. We have the land of Israel is just like other country, like any other state of Israel. So, and they're letting us go to Eretz Yisrael, and everyone is gonna go to Eretz Yisrael. This is what the Ramban says. So the Rambam knew. The Yerushalmi, they knew this whole idea of what the Ramban is also saying. And the Rambam knew what it says in Sanhedrin and all these other places. There's a whole bunch of different Gemaras and Midrashim, which these people that say the redemption starting, they're not fraya people Am Ha'aretz that don't know nothing. People that know, but they're just saying the redemption is starting, and they have different Gemaras and Midrashim. It says the Rambam knew everything, and nevertheless, what did the Rambam say? That it's not going to be this way. So therefore, you have to go the way it's according to Halacha. And also these people that say that the redemption started and the land of Israel is this is the whole Torah. These same people are saying give the Arabs different pieces of land, which is also another Isur. It's also prohibited to give the Arabs pieces of land.
Really?
Yes, 100%. It says even if they come on Shabbos and they want a piece of straw, it says that you're machal Shabbos to send them away. Why? Because if you're going to let them get some straw from your land, then they're going to conquer your land and they're going to want more and more. And it's going to be easier for them to get into Eretz Yisrael and conquer the Yiddish land. And it's also now to give that. It says in Shulchan Aruch. It's also it's the land of the Yidden. The Eibishter gave the Eretz Yisrael to the Yidden, not to the Goyim, and it's our land. You don't give it to the Goyim 100%. So these that are adding what?
So for Shalom, even for Shalom,
no, it's no Shalom. It's nothing. You know, the Rebbe says now you're not allowed to talk about giving them the land, because once you talk about it, it shows them how that you're weak. You're weak, and they could do whatever they want. So they could, do terrorism, and then say, "Give me your land," and then they say, "Okay, let's negotiate." So then they're going to continue doing more. If you tell them you're not getting nothing, so they're not even going to do terrorism. They're not even going to terrorize because they know that they're not going to get anything. But because that they're weak, that's the problem. The Rebbe says you can't give them nothing.
So they did an Avera when they gave the Gaza?
100%. And you can see now what's happening. What did they do?
Why did they give Gaza then for an Avera?
They did an Avera, 100%.
They said it was for peace, but not for peace.
It wasn't peace, and they made the same mistake again and again. Let's continue. The Rebbe says, I don't want to get in deep length in this idea. The Rebbe says, I'm scared to disturb your train of thought of this Rav. The Rebbe says, like I heard from our friend, which means the Rebbe heard from Shazar. Shazar would learn with Rabbi Zevin Bechavrusa, and he was a friend of the Rebbe. So the Rebbe said, I heard from my friend, from Shazar, the Rebbe is writing to this, I heard from my friend that you like, when you meet people, you like to find what's the common denominator, what's the even thing, how are we the same? That's what you look to find, like that, to get along, not to look to see how we're different and not to get along. And you do not like to emphasize and to look after what separates people, what makes us look different, what makes us at least have a different opinion. You don't like to do such a thing. So the Rebbe is saying, why am I calling now? You have one way of thinking. Why am I speaking to you about something that you hold otherwise? It looks like I'm looking to find differences between me and you. Says the Rebbe, it's very simple. It's that this is the way I'm dealing with you, just like you like to deal with everyone, to find how are we all the same, not to find out we're different. So I like to work with you also, to see how we both hold the same thing, to talk about the things that we get along with, not to bring up topics where we disagree. I don't want to bring up the things that we disagree, like that will make a little fight. The Rebbe says, this is the way I get along with you also. And this is the way, I'm sure that the way you get along with me, that we like to talk about things that we both hold the same thing and about things that we hold different. So the question is, why is the Rebbe bringing up this concept where they don't hold alike? So the Rebbe explains. The Rebbe says, I would not write it, I wouldn't talk about this thing if I wouldn't see this idea, to say that the redemption has begun as a thing that is dangerous. The Rebbe says, why am I talking to you about this thing even though we don't hold it? Because the thing that you're thinking about, your train of thought, is a dangerous train of thought. Therefore, I am going to talk about it, and I am going to bring up this concept to show you that it's a mistake. Why? Because it's dangerous. If it wouldn't be dangerous, so I have my opinion, have your opinion, everyone can think whatever they want. It's not dangerous. But if someone's doing something that's dangerous, so I have to bring it up to stop this dangerous thing. And the Rebbe explains, why is it dangerous to say that the Gula has already begun? The Rebbe says, this is the only explanation that I found as of now for all the korbanos, for all the death, all the murdering, all the chalolim in Eretz Yisrael, all these terrorist attacks. Why are they happening? The Rebbe says the only reason that I found for this is this, that people say the Geula has already begun. This, that people say the Geula has already begun. This is a dangerous thing, and this brings to all the korbanos, all the bombings and all this stuff in Eretz Yisrael. Jews that were saved from the Holocaust. And they were saved from the Holocaust they saw revealed miracles in the way that they were saved from the Holocaust. So they were saved from the Holocaust. Now they came to Israel, and what happened to them? In Israel, the Cholza Naflu Beretz HaKodesh in Eretz Yisrael, that's where they got killed. They were saved from the crazy Holocaust with miracles. In Eretz Yisrael, they get killed. And what way were they killed in Eretz Yisrael? They were killed through these Arabs in a not normal way, in a disgusting way. Why is all of this happening? Says the Rebbe, the only reason is because people are saying the Geula has already begun, when it hasn't really begun. What's the connection? What's the connection? What's the explanation? Why through saying the redemption has begun, this makes the Karbanis in Eretz Yisrael? Al derech moshel shelo b'chol pam shekoma Mashiach sheker v'heisis u'mashach es mishu acharav. We see in Jewish history that every time a false Messiah, false Mashiach has stood up and he convinced people that he's the Mashiach and he's starting the redemption, when he was a fake Mashiach, wasn't real. What was the end of this story? It ended off with korbanos. It ended off with sacrifices. It ended off with Jewish people getting killed. This is the exact same thing, says the Rebbe, to say that the redemption has begun. Because this isn't the redemption according to Torah. This is not redemption. And someone is saying this is redemption. This is Mashiach. This is called a false Messiah, a false redemption.
What do you consider redemption?
So like we're going to say, and like we spoke about in the past, the real redemption is that the King Mashiach himself comes and builds the Beis HaMikdash, Hashlishi, just 1 second, and he brings everyone to Eretz Yisrael. That is redemption. If to say they're getting a piece of, making a state of Israel, and Jewish people going to Israel, this is the beginning of the redemption, that is not true. That is called a false Messiah.
Can we say that? Can we say that?
Just 1 second.
Era of the redemption.
This is a era maybe of a preparation. It's the time of the redemption, etc., etc. But these people are saying, well, why is it a preparation? If you're saying it for other reasons, because we have Chassidus, okay, because there's more Torah and mitzvahs, because there's different signs in the Gemara that says it's going to be close to the time of the redemption, that's one thing. But they're saying the redemption itself, the Geula itself, has already begun. And that is not true. That is a false Messiah. And when there's a false Messiah, what does that mean? That means Karbanis. Now, just 1 second.
A sign of the preparation.
So now look what the Rebbe is saying over. Look, va'avsha matzav nisi v'hatzola ugdoila shel milyonim Yisrael. Even though, yes, the time is miracles, wonders, saving, a very great salvation to save millions of Jewish people from let's say from the Nazis or from other nations of the world. Nevertheless, millions of Yidden getting saved is not the beginning of the redemption. This is not the redemption from the third exile. There's 4 exiles: Galus Mitzrayim, Galus Yavon, Paras, and Edom. Or Paras, Yavon, Edom. We are in Galus Edom, and this that Yidden are going to Eretz Yisrael is not the redemption from the Galus. For Adarabbe, look what the Rebbe says, even more than that. On the contrary, not only this is not the redemption itself. This whole state of Israel is what? And the people going to Eretz Yisrael, that says it's going lower down in the darkness of Golus. And this to say that the Geula has begun. By saying this, the Geula has already begun with this, that there's a state of Israel. And Yidden are leaving Torah and mitzvahs, like we're saying. They're being Machal Shabbos. They're pushing away the whole Torah, which is just for the state of Israel. Just to move to Eretz Yisrael, and you don't need anything else. This is not and to say that the godless itself, to say this is Gula, this itself is the God. This itself is a deeper darkness in the darkness of godless. To call the night day, you have night, it's night, and you know that it's night. But to think that the night itself is day, and this is light, it's even worse. Okay, that's sick, he knows is sick. Okay, so at least he's going to know what to do to heal himself. He's going to work on healing himself. He'll go to a doctor. But if a guy that's sick thinks that being sick is not only nothing, but he thinks this is being healthy, that is called extra sick. Okay? To say that darkness is light, this is a big, big darkness. What's the punishment? What's the bitter punishment that the Eibishter gives for such a thing? The nafal oid chalol beYisrael, the oid korban b'aretz hakodesh debanim v'sikonim v'oid Hashem yikom damim, and the severe punishment, the bitter punishment is what? That another Jew gets killed, chas v'shalom, another korban in Eretz Yisrael. Hashem yikom damim, Hashem will take revenge for their blood.
Why does Karbanos have to happen as a sign for Hashem to like? Could there be a better hint that Hashem's giving us?
This is the way. This is the way the Eibishter made it in the history. This is what I was saying. In history, every time there was a fake Mashiach, it ended off with Karbanis. This is a fake.
Hashem is obviously giving us a hint.
By stop saying that something that's not Geula, to call it the Geula, and stop. That's what the Eibishter is doing, basically. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Hopefully Mashiach will be here by tomorrow, and